today's video, we will see that how nationalist movement took a shape after the World War II. But before that, we will see how Congress faced some crisis after the CDM movement was withdrawn with Gandhi-Irwin Pact in 1931. After the withdrawal of civil disobedience movement, there was a disbalance in the Congress, and Gandhi strongly believed that the organization was getting weak from inside because of their internal corruption and corrupt practices. Certain practices like rivalry and petty squabbles among the Congress leaders, also bogus membership and unethical means of employment to get a hold on the Congress committees and controlling them, all these activities were making Gandhi unhappy. Gandhi also firmly believed that the Congress should first put the house in order and then think about the national movement. Also, Gandhi and Bose faced conflict with their ideology and approach towards Swaraj. Bose believed in military approach and Gandhi, as always, strongly supported non-violence as the only way for Swaraj. Subhash Chandra Bose was the president of Bengal Provincial Congress Committee and he mainly worked for the organization of the youth and promoting the trade union movements. As we all know, he strongly disagreed with the other older leaders of the Congress like Gandhi and many others in their political stand. He also announced the formation of Independence League to support his idea of complete independence against the suggestion of dominion status suggested by other Congress leaders. He was vehemently against the suspension of the civil disobedience movement and signing of the Gandhi-Irwin Pact in 1931. Bose was a man of action and radical ideas. We will look at two of the Congress sessions presided over by Bose. First was the Haripura session of Gujarat 1938, where Bose was unanimously elected the president. He was firm in his beliefs in the revolutionary potential of the Congress committees in the provinces and also recommended the formation of National Planning Committee in the same session for the economic development of the country. At Haripura session, the Congress agreed to support the agitation against the governance in the princely states morally. Also, international peace during this time was disturbed and Europe clearly showed signs to wage a wide-scale war globally. On the other session, January 1939, Bose forwarded his candidature for Congress president again. He claimed that he represented the new ideas, ideologies, problem and programs of the new India and that had come out to be the progressive sharpening of the anti-imperialist struggle in India. But Gandhi was not happy with Bose's candidature and his radical ideas, and also the other leaders like Vallabhbhai Patel, Rajendra Prasad and J.B. Kriplani supported Gandhi. According to these leaders, the Congress president was a symbol of the constitutional unity. And for this reason, they supported the candidate chosen by Gandhi, who was Pattabhi Sitaramaiah. Uniting over Gandhi's selected candidate was a wise move as this time Congress could not afford to look weak to the imperialist. But Bose by this time was favored by the majority of members in the Congress and as a result of this, Bose won the presidency again and this time against Pattabhi Sitaramaiah, Gandhi's selected candidate. Gandhi declared that Pattabhi's defeat was his defeat and now it has become a Gandhi versus Bose issue. The Tripuri session of 1939 was important in Congress history as it showed a clear polarization in the Congress ideology and future struggle where one was with Bose and the other supported Gandhi. Here we have to understand what the issue Congress as an organization was facing. The Working Committee of Congress was not a ruling body, but it was nominated or elected by the President of the Congress. The election of President is thus a constitutional opportunity through which the membership express the nature of the leadership of Congress. Now, with this fact in mind, and winning of Bose against Gandhi showed that majority of congressmen supported the radical views of Bose. The election of Bose in the face of the opposition of the official machine led to a sharp inner crisis within Congress. Bose accused the working committee of being ready to compromise for the matters of federation. This fueled anger in the leaders, and they felt that they could not work with a president who had publicly cast doubts in their nationalistic principle and immediately resigned. Bose was in the favor of giving 6 months ultimatum to the Britain and grant the national demand of independence to the working committee. But Bose could not convince Gandhi to support him despite several efforts. He was also not supported by his own followers within the Congress, as they also knew the importance of a united Congress at this time, and nobody wanted a split within the Congress. After a long battle and hassle, Bose had to resign, and in May, Bose and his followers formed the Forward Bloc, the new party within the Congress. When he gave a call for the All India protest against the All India Congress Committee resolution, the Congress Working Committee took disciplinary actions against him, and he was removed from the post of president of the Bengal Provincial Congress Committee. During this time, Germany attacked Poland on September 1, 1939, and the action led to Second World War. Britain declared war against Germany, and the British government of India declared Indian support for the war without consulting the Indian opinions. The Congress, on one hand, did not like the fact that British government announced the Indian taking part in the war without consulting them, but they decided to support them with certain conditions. The conditions were: after the war, a constituent assembly should be convened to determine the political structure of a free India, and immediately some form of genuine responsible government should be established at the center. The offer was rejected by Lithgow, the viceroy then, and according to the Congress, these conditions were necessary to win the confidence of the masses for the war. With government rejecting all these conditions, the Congress Working Committee met at Wardha, and a official Congress position was decided at this session. Gandhi, who had all the sympathies for Britain in this war, totally disliked the fascist ideology, and he said that they were not willing to embrace British government during the war. The other leaders like Subhash Chandra Bose and the other socialist leaders like Acharya Naren Dev and Jayaprakash Narayan, in their opinion, the war was being fought by the imperialists on both the sides, and they had no sympathy for the either sides of the war. They thought that it was the ideal time to launch the civil disobedience movement and take advantage of the situation and snatch freedom from Britain's hand. Another prominent leader, Jawaharlal Nehru, was not ready to accept the opinion of either Gandhi or the socialist. He believed that the justice was on the side of Britain, France, and Poland. He advocated that no Indian participated in the war till India itself get free, and at the same time no advantage was to be taken of Britain's difficulty by starting CDM. Gandhi at the time supported Nehru's stand, and also Congress Working Committee adopted the same. The Congress Working Committee after this passed a resolution condemning the fascist aggression, and they said India could not be a part of a war being fought on the face of it for democratic freedom while that freedom was being denied to them. Britain was fighting for democracy and freedom for democratic freedom. After supporting Nehru's point of view, the Congress Working Committee passed a resolution condemning the fascist aggression. The government's response was entirely negative towards this resolution of Congress Working Committee, and the Viceroy in his statement tried to use Muslim League and the princes against the Congress. The government refused to define British war of aim beyond stating that Britain was resisting aggression. Also, the government tried to lure the Indian rulers that they might modify the Government of India Act in their favor. Also, said it would immediately set up a consultative committee whose advice could be sought whenever required. The British government never wanted to lose the colonies within India, and for that they were willing to declare Congress as their enemy openly. The then Viceroy statement was not an aberration but a part of general British policy to take the advantage of the war and to regain the lost ground from the Congress. Even before the war was declared, emergency provisions were acquired for the centre by amending the Government of India Act 1935. Also, the Defence of India Ordinance had been enforced the day the war was declared and thus restricting the civil liberties within Indian territories. Also, a top secret draft revolutionary movement ordinance had been taking place aimed at launching the crippling preemptive strikes on the Congress in May 1940. By doing this, the British government wanted to gain sympathies of the other allied powers stationed in India by painting a negative and aggressive image of Congress and portraying them as the sympathizer of Japan and Germany. The Congress Working Committee rejected the statement of Viceroy in October 1939 as a reiteration to the old imperialist policy. Also, they decided not to support the Britain in the war and announced Congress ministers to resign from provincial positions. After the statement of the then Viceroy, the debate of the question of immediate mass struggle began once again within Congress. Gandhi and his supporters were against the immediate mass struggle because they believed Allied cause was just and the communal sensitiveness and lack of Hindu-Muslim unity could result in a communal riot. Masses were also not ready for a struggle and Congress position was weak at that time, and also the atmosphere was not conducive of a mass struggle. Gandhi and his followers were instead in favor of toning up the Congress, carrying on political work among the masses, negotiating till all the possibilities of a negotiated settlement were exhausted, and in January 1940, the Viceroy stated Dominion status after the war was the goal of British government. At the Ramgarh session of March 1940, presided over by Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad, agreed that a battle must be waged, but there was a disagreement over the form. It was decided to leave the form and timing to Gandhi. Also, Gandhi was in favor to continue the cooperation at the provincial level, and he was in favor of non-violent and moral support to the British during the war. But Jawaharlal Nehru reiterated that complete independence for India must be a precondition for Congress to support the British in war efforts. Subhash Chandra Bose continued with his strong militant stand, and Congress finally declared at the session that people of India would accept nothing short of complete independence. Also, it was stated that Congress will retain the civil disobedience movement when the situation was deemed fit to them. This last line of the declaration of Congress indicated that they were not ready for any immediate reaction. In the same year, Muslim League also passed a resolution which was known as Pakistan Resolution at Lahore, and they called for a grouping of geographical continuous area where Muslims are in majority to be independent states in which constituent units shall be autonomous and sovereign, and also adequate safeguards to be provided to the Muslims where they were in minority. At the global level, Hitler's astounding success and the fall of Belgium, Holland, and France put England in a conciliatory mood. Both Gandhi and Nehru were against taking advantage of the British at that time. The Congress was ready to compromise and put forward a demand to set up an interim government and during the war, but the British government was not interested and offered some of their own terms instead. These terms of British government came to be known as the August Offer of 1940. Now, according to these terms, Dominion status as the objective for India was given, also expansion of the Viceroy's Executive Council with Indians in majority, and setting up of a constituent assembly after the war where mainly Indians would decide the constitution according to their social, economic and political conception, and no future constitution to be adopted without the consent of the minorities. The Congress rejected the August offer. The Muslim League welcomed the veto assurance given to them, and Gandhi said that the declaration had widened the gulf between the nationalists and the British rulers. Towards the end of 1940, Congress once again asked Gandhi to lead the command of national movement, and Gandhi now began taking steps which would lead to a mass struggle within the broad strategic perspective. He decided to initiate a limited satyagraha on individual basis, and the aim for launching individual satyagraha were to show the nationalist patience was not due to their weaknesses, and to express people's feeling that they were not interested in the war, and that they made no distinction between the Nazism and the double autocracy that ruled India. Gandhi also wanted to give another opportunity to the government to accept Congress' demand peacefully. Also, the demands of the Satyagrahi was freedom of speech against anti-war declaration, and also if the demands were not accepted, they would not only repeat the Satyagraha but also move into village and start a march towards Delhi, precipitating a movement which came to be known as Delhi Chalo movement. Vinoba Bhave was the first to offer the Satyagraha and Nehru was the second. Thank you for watching the video. I hope it was informative. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel.